car was a Opel Calibra. 8 valve, super fast. Could do a burnout for 25 meters with one of the wheels. Well, it started to get interesting when I traded my Audi Coupe to a Nissan 200 SX S13. I got help from my friends to like change exhaust system, tune it up with a chip and the basic stuff. And as soon as I had that done, the rod bearings started knocking. So I used all my money for the tune-ups. Then I had to put down some wrench time and learn how to do it. So my friend, he said, I've been interested in those cars for years, so I'm gonna get one that has that problem, that's broken, because it's pretty common. We'll park them in your parents' garage and then we'll start to do some work on them. And then you let me know when you hang up on something, like you can't figure it out, and I'll help you. So it felt pretty easy to get started with it, and so I did. And honestly, I didn't have to ask about so many things, because it's when I talk to people that are not into cars and work with them, I say that it's like Lego, everything falls into pieces. So I had that car for like 3 years, did some street racing with all my friends, got it pretty fast and was one of the faster guys in town then. Well, they weren't like doing anything professional. And then I had some Evos. I got an Evo 3 RS, got it pretty fast, 474 horsepower at the wheels, E85. I ran then, one of the first ones around to actually use it. Started building it 2006 and I was done 2007. I was street racing a lot with it. Got a lot of contact with other folks around in Sweden, so I guess it was a pretty well-known car the whole country around. But it kind of ruined my economy pretty bad, so I sold it and I was going to start a sheep project. And that's where I started with BMWs, cheap easy horsepowers. But that backfired too. It got to be 1,000 horsepower, couple of crazy years, 8-second runs on the drag strip, did some burnouts, tried to skid a little at the Gata Bil events and just had some fun basically. And then I was at this bar at Åland. It's an island between Sweden and Finland, and this guy came up to me. They're pretty into cars on Åland. And he said, how does it feel to not be good at anything? And then it hit me like, yeah, I have a car that's set up to do a bunch of different things, but it's not really good at anything. Breaks down all the time on me. So then I started thinking, I was like, yeah, this guy's right. He was drunk, but he had some thoughts into it. 1 other year went, and I broke some stuff. I got my 8-second run, so I felt pretty finished with the project. So I settled down, got a big BMW sedan, and I put my 1,000 horsepower engine in it, had some fun, ended up at Gata Bil, doing a little more like this. I wouldn't call it drifting, because there was a stock interior, no like hydraulic handbrake and stuff, so you couldn't do so much and the normal steering. So, but I felt like this is fun, I need to do this more. And then I broke the crankshaft on it, sold it out in pieces, and that's when I decided to start with drifting. That's when I started talking with my childhood friend Jocke. He recently started drifting. He had his first year last year and he was sold. We figured out we're gonna have like 2 the same cars basically, different stuff of course, we always liked different stuff. So I started with my project last fall, got this S chassis, got 2 Toyota SVEA engines, like the 1J said or whatever you call them. I was gonna keep it pretty simple, drive what all the other guys was driving, because I was tired. With my Beamer stuff, I was always like one of the first to try everything out. I wouldn't say I was the first with 1,000 horsepower and stuff, but I was probably the first one that really used that stuff. I drove the car really hard always. I didn't just build it up to have 1,000 horsepower and then put it in the garage. So I was beating that car up always and always. People were like, how does it hold up? That's crazy. My plan was to get what everyone else had, basically. And then this awesome BMW engine came up on like an ad, so I was like, I have to get this one. It's a good price. I like the Beamer engines, and I've never had like a S engine, like a real M engine. So I got that one, like started putting it down, and there was a lot of problems with just fitting it into the car, and there was some problems with the engine, but in the end everything solved pretty good. I got a cage and all the basic stuff you need. Try to look in the rule book, how to build a drift car, what the rules said, figured everything out, decided you could either like buy everything or buy too little stuff. I placed myself somewhere in between with a lot of help from my sponsors. So I hooked the car up with all the parts that I thought I needed, and the plans changed a lot. as the car came together. Like I got this drift work stuff, like all the arms and stuff. And then I figured I need dropped hubs, do you call it that? Because you have the car so much lower and you still want the same like alignments as the manufacturer thought from the beginning, because most grip. That ended up costing a lot just to get the hubs. And then I looked at Wisefab. They had a really nice solution for everything. You basically just hook the car up with the stuff and you set the toe and you're good to roll. So I thought, yeah, let's do that because time is running out. So I got that stuff and I got the car done like the evening before Elmia, the biggest Swedish car exhibition. So I was gonna fire it up just before, but I had an oil leakage on the engine. Plug was missing between the engine and the gearbox. So we went to the exhibition, and then the week after took the engine out, fixed the plug, started up, did a test drive. And then time was running out as always, so I took a little test drive around the block just to see that everything was rolling. Went to Manton. It's what was called spring brake track, I know, so it felt pretty confident to just take the car out to a test drive there. So my goal with the day was to link two drifts, start drifting, and then like laid it over with the handbrake into the next corner, like to extend the drift, which was pretty cool. And that wasn't too hard to do with the cars that's actually set up for drifting. But I realized that the tires that I used to like ride on my Beamers, they didn't hold up for shit. 1.5 laps, 2 laps maybe, with my used tires. All the good rubber was gone, so. But anyways, then it was like 1 week after, it was the first competition, the Swedish Power Drift Series. So I got over there, we didn't know what to expect, brought a lot of used tires that I thought was good. And then we were at this like driver's meeting, and I was so overwhelmed with the meeting, I felt like, oh, I just want to go home now. I don't want to do this. I didn't understand anything. Everything felt like, you know, when you get the cold sweat, you're like, you have so much invested in this stuff. You went over here, you paid like the fees to drive and join the series, and then everything felt like so far away from what I knew. But we thought, let's just go out there and have some fun. Don't care about the clipping points. So we started practice. Oh, my friend, he did what I did to my finger recently. He broke his finger. We were gonna pull the car down from the trailer, and he got his finger between the brake caliper and the rim. So it was hanging. That's my friend Jukka I was mentioning before. So he went to the hospital, and then I was there alone, trying to set up the stickers on the car, the front window streamer and everything. So everything like felt weird, like a weird start with everything. We're driving the car to get the check, and then the clutch started failing. It got stuck in, so you couldn't get the wheels to rotate. So we figured we could drive the car really warm, the engine really warm, so maybe it will loosen up. Something was not lining in the clutch. So we got it working. I had to like release the clutch really hard and rev it up to get the tires going. So you're like, let's just try it. Went out to the practice. I was everywhere. I was like, oh, this sucks. I hate drifting. So we did some other testings, and then I got the first part of the track pretty good. I was like, yeah, this feels nice. And then it just died out at the end. So I was like, okay, let's try this. Let's try it different next time. And then I did the other half good, but not the first one. And then I drove out and did a dirt drop, terrible dirt drop. And then it was time for qualifying. So I got like, 3 runs, I think. So I was like, okay, my goal was to qualify. So let's just try to qualify into the elimination, so you can get to the elimination, and then I can go home. So then when the qualifier started, you feel the adrenaline coming, you focus, you're in the other world. So it went really, really nice. 2 pretty solid runs made me qualify 6. And so I was pretty stoked about that, happy. And then elimination started. I got to drive against 2 guys out of the pony drift team. Irvin, which had a problem with his car. And then the elimination started at Gjelleråsen. I got to drive against Irvin from Team Pony Drift. It was pretty funny because one of my friends that has this walkie-talkie, he heard on the radio the Pony Drift talking, and they were like, who am I up against? They were like, the new guy. And then they said like, oh shit. So that was pretty funny. So I guess I did a pretty good impression at the qualifying. So I had the lead run first. That was a solid run. I got up pretty much speed, so it felt good. And then the second run, Irvin had some problems with his car. So they took him off the track for some reason. think it was only a fuse. So that was pretty sad for him. So anyway, I was through to the next one, and then I got to meet Rasmus Möller, also from Team Pony Drift, and he won the competition they had at Elmia. So I was like, okay, let's just see how it goes, and I got 2 pretty solid runs, and I came out like the winner. Then I was really stoked. And then we were basically out of tires, so I was like, okay, let's just try these ones till they pop. And then I got to meet Rickard Ivars, and we had some really nice twin drifting. You can feel the adrenaline with twin drifting. It was the first time for me. I thought I was like so close to him, so I was like, oh yeah, that was really intense. But then when we saw the movies after, it wasn't that close, but with the speed and everything, it felt really nice. But he beat me up, of course, because he knew where the clipping points and everything were and where we were supposed to go, and I had no clue. I just driving, try to keep myself on the track. So it was a lot of fun. It was a good first event. And then I was gone on vacation, traveling. Got back the day before competition number 2 in Sundsvall. This was the first time I brought new tires. So we did some practice runs after some failing with the clutch and stuff again, because as soon as I got home from the first competition, I put it in the garage, took it out for the next competition. So we figured that out like to the afternoon on the practice day. I drove out there, 4th gear in, I ran every single clipping point down. I was like, okay, they said that it was a like technical course. So I figured I was pretty crappy at the technical courses. So then someone told me like try a lower gear. So I put in the 3rd gear. Everything like super nice. I could drink coffee and drift at the same time. It was so easy. So I was like, okay, this is awesome. But no smoke, but I was like, okay, no, I don't care about that. And then I got to speak to one of the judges. So I learned how to do it, like how you initiate clipping points, what the zone was all about. So I learned a lot there. I felt pretty confident with how to drive to get the points up. I guess everyone likes that, but he likes the fast transfers when you flip it over really quick and like aggressive. So that got stuck on my brain. Then the day was almost over. I figured we have practice tomorrow too, and then I saw it was just like 30 minutes practice or something the day after. So I was like, okay, maybe I should go out and test the new tires to see if it's a big difference. So I went out there, 3rd gear in, initiating, and then it was tire squeaking the whole time. I was like, what's going on? So I had to floor it, like I had to hold full throttle, like basically the whole run, just not to get it grip and drive into the concrete. The adrenaline started then. Holy shit, so fast, a lot of angle, a lot of smoke, a lot of everything. So that was too fun, so I just had to keep on going until the training day was over. Went to sleep, tried 2 training laps the day after, and I qualified 5th. I did like this crazy wall tap where the photo guys were standing. So I guess the speaker was pretty stoked about that. It was a lot of show. And I got pretty good scores too, but I had some problems with taking the clipping points too tight, so that took my points down a little. But I qualified 5th, so I was really happy again. And then the competition started. Terrible problems with the clutch, so I couldn't start. I had to pump the clutch, hold the rev on the engine up, the RPMs, and then try to like the box the 1st gear in, and then it popped in, and then I had to go and like dirt bike shift gears. I don't know how you say it, but like without the clutch, so you can hear every synchronizer. So I was the last guy into all the initiation. I had to like try to advance as the track was going, like to try to catch up to them and still hold a pretty nice run. So I got to meet Supra, I forgot the name. I have terrible problems with the names in this series because I'm pretty new to drifting. I knew the more common names that's been seen a lot in the media and stuff. So anyways, I got to meet him, and he ran off the track and stuff. I got to meet Johan Andersson, the one who won last year. I got out super late with my start problems, but then I caught up to him because he got confused, like, oh, there's too much gap, maybe they're gonna quit this run and take it again. So he ran off the track like dirt dropped, and I did a really nice run. So I got to take him out. Feel bad for him though, because he didn't get to do one of his better runs. But anyways, I guess that's racing. It's easy to get provoked by other drivers, so I guess that's something you have to train with. So I had to train with that too. And then I got to meet Rickard Ivars again, my nemesis. We had some really solid runs, but he was the winner. Wasn't too sad about that. He's really good. He's really good at that. So then I had to meet Rasmus Möller for the 3rd place. I took the clipping point. We had some really nice tandem drifting because we have pretty much the same style. We both ride Wisefab and DS chassis. So we had some really nice twin drifting. But then we had to do it again, one more time style, one more time stuff. Still learning these words in drifting. So, and then everything got like a weird feeling. I was like, okay, I have no more tires. Do we have enough gas? So you start to think about other things than just racing. And then I got unfocused and I did some mistakes, and he was the winner. So I got the 4th place in that competition. So I was really happy about that, of course. 5th place, first competition, 4th place, the second competition. That made me stand as the second person from the top in the whole series, because I guess the guys that got good results the first competition got low results the second competition. So that made me jump up because I had pretty good, both of them. Yeah. So then it was time for my Bil experience. Super stoked, went up there to drive with my friends from Drift Lab. We had this sweet garage we were in with like a tire changing machine and everything perfect. You went straight out to the track basically from our spot. So we started up. I got there on Friday because I had to work. Started off drifting Saturday morning. Felt pretty nice. I did some adjustments on my rear end in the car, so I pretty much had like a positive camber in the back, so when it squatted down, you get a lot of grip. It's a pretty big change. The car reacted really different. It was hard for the front wheels to... I had such crappy tires in the front, so it wanted to lose the grip, so I had to like flick it out really hard and then just hold it to get it going. It worked pretty fine. So then I was gonna do twin drift with my friend Emily with her BMW. So I got it up speed, came up close to her, and then we crashed. Only a little. I ran into her door. So, but it was like how did that happen? And I saw her tire flying the other way. So she carved off the tire at the same time I got up close. So then we got contact, but that wasn't so much problem. It was just like, okay, some dents happens. And then I did another run. Started to feel good with the track and the adjustments, the tires I was driving and everything. Then the drifting, when the pros were out. So I followed the fast guys and the smoky guys. A lot of fun. Did like 2 or 3 laps and then the tires were out, so I skidded out. Got back on the track, and then shit hit the fan. Freddie Gaspo. Yeah. He's probably the fastest guy driving that track, drifting. I had to drive out in front of him. So we collided, horrible. I was like, what just happened? What just happened? I had a passenger. He looked back like, okay, I have no window. This is a pretty bad hit. And then these like rescue guys shows up and they were like, you okay in there? I was like, yeah, sure, fine. He said, it doesn't look so bad. I was like, okay. Oh, whew, nice. I thought it was bad. So we went out of the car. I went behind the car and I was like, is he serious? What's not bad with this? Like my cooler looked like, I don't know, a snake or something. It was nothing were in place. You could see the tire and then everything was smashed. I mean, the window, the whole subframe, everything was trashed. It's like, how can you say that this was not so bad? I was like, I got my hopes up and stuff. So I got a little frustrated because of the thing, like my car that it was running so good, it was like toast. So took the car back to our pit, looked a little at it, decided to like quit for the season, regroup, rebuild, change chassis, whatever. Then everyone started talking. Freddie Gaspo stopped by, so we talked a little. There were no hard feelings, of course. These things happen in racing. He's a great guy, great drifter. He said, we're playing with the fire every time we're out there. Sooner or later, it burns. And it did. His car got pretty beat up too. I think it took in the wheel, so his like suspension system absorbed a lot of the energy from the impact. So I think his car looked better, but it was a better spot to get hit on because you could pull it out easier. A lot of things took up the impact, so they could repair that car pretty good. So his team worked on it, got it out. The same like on the day after or something, so he could still win the contest they had there on the Sunday. So and I got home. My friend from Team Madrift, he said, we're gonna fix this car, so just get it over here, get some spare parts, and I'll straighten this out for you. No car has been winning over me yet, so I'm gonna fix this. I was like, okay, yeah, sounds good. So I drove it over there. These awesome guys at Facebook fixed another chassis and like collected some money for the rebuild, so I got a lot of help so I could get back on the track. Flinta, he like cut the whole, like we call it half back in drag racing. That's when you basically take the whole rear end and you make your own system there. But he took the half back off and he put another half back in there, so it's, I don't know what the registration would be in my car right now because it's 2 cars. And he did a really solid job. He works with these things, of course. So he had it in this, like the bench, I don't know what you call it, but he pulled everything out so the chassis points are at their spots and stuff. And then I got it back after like 3 days. Crazy guy. Then we lifted the car up because there was no rear suspension and stuff. And then got it back here, and I had the car done in like 3 weeks or a month or something. Because that was a job that I know how to do because I did it this winter, so it was pretty easy. So I would more call it like a rally car in the finish now than a drifting car. So it looks pretty mean, runs really good. So I got it fixed like the week before Swedish Power Drift Series number 3 was a Grandal Eskilstuna. We call it Green Valley. First time driving that track, really awesome track. Pretty hard with my gear ratio because the 3rd gear was too short. Couldn't really extend it out to the long corners, and the 4th gear was just crazy, it got too much, so I started shifting gears, like 3rd gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear, bang. So then it was time to test out Green Valley Park, and I figured out pretty fast that I had the wrong ratio for the track, so the 3rd gear was not enough and the 4th gear was too much, so I started switching gears in the turns instead, so I could extend it on the long straights to the next corners. That went good for one time at least. Second time I broke a drive shaft, so I was like, okay, this is clearly not gonna work. So I had a spare drive shaft with me, so we replaced that one pretty quick. And then I kept to the 3rd gear. I was like, I better not push this one because then I don't have any like drive shafts left. So qualified 4th place. Some of the guys were really experienced with that track, so they had some really awesome runs, like Fredrik Aspnäs, for instance. I don't know how you could like do that line he did better. He had a perfect run. Maybe it was a lack of speed or angle or something because he didn't qualify first. The King Granlund of course did, so maybe that's why he was trying like a crazy person as always. He is crazy. He is crazy. And then the elimination started. Well, yeah, I got to the person I was going to battle got some problems, so I got a free run or whatever you call it. So the first one I met was like in the top 8, which was Jens Stark. That was probably my tightest twin drifting ever because I did the lead, I got a solid run, felt really good, and then I got the chase, and he was driving a little bit slower than me, so I got up really close all the time, but managed to keep the drift angle. So it was a really fun battle with Jens, and I won it. Got to meet Fredrik Kodin, Nemesis. He took me out again, but I think I gave him one of the tougher battles at the season that time. And then I got to meet Kim Fors to run for the 3rd place. And Kim had some problems with the clutch, so I won that one because he couldn't drive. So I finished 3rd place. So I'm still 2nd from the top in this area. So that gave me an invitation to drift Allstars in Kaunas, Lithuania. See if we can get over there. See what the big boys are doing. That's about it for the season this far.
Skitbra!
I want to thank my sponsors, my big ones, Styling for You, Bakaxeldelar. These guys helped me a lot with the car as I wanted. We also have SUVI Performance. Awesome guys. He makes like e-brakes and everything. He has crazy finish on his stuff. I got Mekonomen spare parts store in town. Awesome guys, fix everything. We have Smörjteknik, the best oils. You probably heard of Omega and Omicron. So I have car fueled up with those oils. We have LMR Racing. He fixed all like the AN hosings and stuff for the water and fuel. Really awesome guy to deal with. Fast deliveries, a lot of good stuff. And of course we have my longtime sponsor SVEA Bil. They fixed the custom prop shaft for me, which is awesome, holds up good. And then of course My longtime friend Jocke drives Fastcar. They're also a sponsor. They made a livery on the car. My friend AD that works there. Awesome job. And then of course we should do a shout out to onroaders. Awesome dudes. You should visit them on Facebook. Subscribe to onroaders. Är det för YouTube eller? Remember to subscribe to onroaders. Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget Ivarsproduction, which is my site.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Speed.